Good morning, everybody. Thank you for coming. My name is Mark Bucher. I'm the founder of Feed the Fridge. I'm the co-founder of Medium Rare Restaurants. Proud Montgomery County, Maryland businesses and nonprofits. I've got 4 children that have been born and raised in Montgomery County, Maryland. My wife and our kids all live in Montgomery County, Maryland, and I have been honored and touched, and it is a privilege to have worked with and continue to work with the folks at Takoma Park, Maryland, to have a Feed the Fridge. Yes, please. What needs to be said first as I introduce everybody here, there's a mindset that everybody in Takoma Park, Maryland has. And the mindset was, let's help, how soon can we help, how quick can you do it? Which is very different than a lot of jurisdictions in the country and even in the area. Takoma Park, Maryland was one of the first to email us. They were amongst the first to keep following up on us. And then they're among the first to say, let's make this happen now. And it's a credit to your leaders in Takoma Park. It's a credit to the political environment that's set by the Montgomery County Council and the county executive. Montgomery County is can do and will do, especially at these levels. Today, we're also installing refrigerators, starting to install refrigerators at Montgomery County Public Schools as well. And the call we had with them yesterday was, how quickly can you go? So we are here for the county. Feed the Fridge is not going anywhere, and we're going to make sure we take care of everyone and change the mindset from food insecurity, which is just another way of saying people are hungry, to meal security. The meals are here. Come get them. No lists, no signups, no monitoring. Enjoy meals. Today's meals are Rasica, medium rare, and prescription chicken. And they are restaurant quality meals that we buy from restaurants. I'll tell you more about me later. First and foremost, I want to introduce Mayor Kate Stewart of Takoma Park, who again led the team and leads the mindset here in Takoma Park to make things happen and take care of the residents of Takoma Park. Mayor Stewart.
Thank you so much, Mark. That was a nice way of saying I'm a real pain and a nag. That's how my husband would tell you. That's what we do. We follow up, and I really appreciate all of your work. Thank you, everyone, for coming this morning. As we all know, over the last year, COVID-19 has shown a bright light on food and housing insecurity. And we know we must do all we can to address these long-standing and ever more urgent issues. And as you heard here in Takoma Park, the city is doing all we can. Our county council and our county executive is working hard. Our state delegation is working hard on these issues to address the long-standing problems we have. And we also know that people need to eat, and they need to eat today. People need to be able to access food with dignity. We need to get them the food they need so that they can come for free. As Mark said, no sign-ups, no line. You can open the door, take what you need, go home and feed your family. And people need food that tastes good. So here we are addressing the need for food, free food with dignity that tastes good. And I just want to say thank you again to Mark and all the chefs that are stepping up at this time. And we are so happy that Takoma Park was selected as the first location in Montgomery County. And it's here at our rec center. Right here at our rec center is a perfect location for Feed the Fridge. People are used to coming here in our community. Since we've had to stop the programming here under COVID, we've done other things to provide support. We have weekly COVID testing here. We have 900 families that live just feet from this rec center who need this food. So we are so happy to have Feed the Fridge here in our community. And at this time, we all need to come together to support our residents, because there's still a great deal of uncertainty right now and as we look ahead. And I want to thank Feed the Fridge, my colleagues on the City Council, at the County Council, and everyone in our community who's really coming together to provide people the support they need. Thank you.
I have some remarks that Senator Van Hollen sent today that he asked for me to read to everybody. This is a Feed the Fridge written statement from Senator Van Hollen. I want to salute Mark Bucher and the entire Feed the Fridge family for their tireless work tackling food insecurity in our nation's capital, particularly as it relates to our children and students. Today's expansion is a big step forward in ensuring every member of our community receives the nourishment they need, and we are delighted to welcome you to Maryland with open arms. Our community needs grassroots champions ready to take on this issue, and I'm glad that Feed the Fridge has stepped up to the plate in this time of need. I commend your efforts to provide fresh, nutritious meals to the young people of the greater DC metro area who have been thrust into food insecurity by this pandemic. And your work partnering with local restaurants has lent a hand to our fellow Americans in the hospitality industry who need a leg up in this moment of economic hardship. This new fridge will provide fresh food and fresh hope to the young people of Takoma Park. I'll be cheering you on as you march towards your goal of distributing 500,000 meals in 2021, and I will continue to fight in Washington to secure the resources of our state and our country needs while we weather this storm. With that, I'd like to welcome Councilman Hans Reimer.
Yep. Thank you, Mark. I'm really glad to be here. Thank you, Mayor Stewart and Councilmember Talisha Searcy. We are really proud of this, and food security has just been a major issue in the county. We've had to allocate tens of millions of dollars from our federal and local relief funding to help meet the incredible need. I think when we look back on this really terrible crisis, one of the things that we're all going to remember is leaders in the hospitality industry stepping up to the plate and bringing to the community their creativity, their talent, and their dedication. You know, if you're a restaurant entrepreneur or if you're in the restaurant industry, a lot of times it's because you have a love of people and you have a love of food. And when the community is in a crisis and you can bring your love for people and for food to bear in a positive way, to bring innovation to meeting that need, then you have entrepreneurs like Mark Bucher who step up and make it happen. And this is really exciting. So students, families, they can just walk right to this fridge and take a meal. And it's a meal that is very high quality. You heard the restaurants, medium rare, Rasica. Those are like date night restaurants. I mean, this is really high quality. I can certainly attest to, the high level of quality of those restaurants. So this is, as the mayor said, this isn't a second-class meal. This is really remarkable food. So we have tremendous need. We have a community response that's embodied here, and we need to keep growing. As we emerge from this, a lot of these innovations, I think, are going to be innovations we want to stick with. So thank you to Mark. You're not only feeding the community, you're keeping people employed. There's a lot of jobs that are represented by that fridge as well. People are filling these orders, and you're raising money through charitable initiatives to buy the food. So there's so many aspects of what you see. What it takes to open that door and pull out a meal is a tremendous effort, and it's just we are grateful to Mark and to this whole sector for stepping up in difficult times. Thank you very much.
I need to add one color commentary because Councilman Reimer, I will give him appropriate credit and really props. It's so in tune to what was happening to the Montgomery County restaurant business back in March and April of last year. He and I were on a phone call within the first 2 or 3 weeks of COVID becoming thing, and how can I help? What do I need to know? What do you want me to bring up at our council meetings to make sure that we can help you all? It was a tremendous welcome reach out, and a call I never expected to get. And I think we actually found each other originally. It might have been on Facebook, is how we originally connected. Or we were playing some kind of video game with each other. But it truly shows in Montgomery County, our elected officials are really dialed into what's going on in the county. It's not that way in a lot of other places in this country. It's a very grassroots neighborhood feeling here. With that, Will Jawando is going to come up and speak next. Councilmember Jawando.
Thank you, Mark, and congratulations. I mean, this is awesome. I was getting a little emotional walking up. I grew up just down the block, as all my colleagues know, and I tell everybody, and all the kids I talk to. I'm going to speak to a group later today, because I want them to know that no matter where you come from in our great county and our great state, that you have the opportunity to succeed and do whatever you want to do here. I think it's an important message. And I came to this rec center. Long Branch was my home, but I used to come to activities, and we had things here. And, growing up really low income, there were days where I didn't always know where the meal was coming from. Or my mom had to scrape something together, or it was something that I didn't want. Kids don't want anything, even if you have options. But the idea that you'll be able to walk up here, grab something that is high quality, take it home, enjoy it with your family. Food is not just something you need to live. It's a community creating substance. You feel good about yourself. You feel better about the people you're sharing the meal with. And so just thank you for what you're doing for the folks that live right here, that live down the street in this community. And I know we're going to expand this. And I think I speak for all my colleagues. Count us in 100% to help you make that 500,000 goal. And thank you, Mayor Stewart and Councilmember Searcy, for your visionary leadership. Takoma Park is often on the cutting edge of many things, and so is Montgomery County, but you all often lead the way. Last thing I want to say, there were 30,000 people that were food insecure in Montgomery County before COVID. That number estimates over 100,000 now that they don't know where their meal is coming from on any given night. And we're going to have to solve that problem. We have done many, many things. We've set up food distributions and hubs around the county that will be permanent delivery of services options. That's important. This is another innovation that will be important as kids go back to school starting Monday for some of our students. Schools have been doing a great job with meals, but the partnership with them, another option. This is going to be a long-term effort, and we're going to need much, much more. We started Food for Montgomery, a private sector, public sector effort to raise money to address food insecurity. So I'm going to work with you, your colleagues, to make sure we expand this. Very excited to be here, and thank you for all your work. Thank you.
It's I'm always speechless when you hear about the massive resources that government has, and I'm personally very excited to really work together to make everything happen. I want to welcome up Takoma Park Councilmember Talisha Searcy.
You got it.
No one ever gets my last name right, ever. So thank God.
Well, first, I want to thank you, Mark, again. As others have mentioned, food insecurity is an issue that has plagued our residents before COVID, and COVID has only exacerbated that problem. One of the multifamily buildings that's right next door to this site has a number of low to moderate income residents, people who are new to this country, who are perhaps undocumented, who otherwise would be fearful of applying for different programs that are designed to address food insecurity that's available today. This program, Feed the Fridge, eliminates that barrier by providing those residents with the opportunity to obtain a hot meal from a great restaurant, no questions asked, no strings attached. And that, for this community, is so valuable as a sanctuary city. So again, I just want to reiterate our appreciation for what you are doing, not just in the city of Takoma Park, but throughout the county, because it really does serve a valuable role in our food supply chain in this area. So again, thank you.
Oh, you know what? You're Montgomery County Councilmember Evan Glass. You're on there. I just missed it.
Last minute RSVP.
You're there, and I missed it. So also welcome to Montgomery County Councilmember Evan Glass. I'm sorry.
No. Again, the perils of a last-minute RSVP, but Mark, my chef's hat is off to you. Thank you very much for everything that you're doing, and clearly the leadership here in Takoma Park is incredible. Always beautiful to come back here and see what the leadership is doing to make sure that we remain a compassionate and caring community for all of our residents, especially our underserved. And, you know, the reality is, according to the Montgomery County Food Council, there are about 60,000 Montgomery County residents on any given day who do not know where they're going to get their food from. And that's just a basic number. But we know the anxiety and the economics are causing so many others, tens of thousands more, to have those same worries. And so it's efforts like this that are really putting the compassion and the heart into our community. And if there's a silver lining to this last year that is our COVID pandemic, it has been the outpouring of support from community members, restaurateurs, residents, to recognize that we are one community, that we need to care for each other, we need to feed each other, we need to house our neighbors. And I know because of your leadership and the type of business owner that you are, we need so many more of you. I think the business community that has been able to step up, recognizing how hard it is for the restaurant industry as it is. So the restaurateurs are struggling, but to see you and so many of your colleagues being able to provide for free foods is incredible. And so thank you for that. And we just need to keep doing more. We need to recognize that this is not going away. People are still hungry. People still need support. And this village that we have created here in Takoma Park and throughout Montgomery County will continue beyond this pandemic, and look forward to working with you and look forward to going back into one of your restaurants when the time is right. So thank you all.
It's always humbling. I'd like to welcome up Takoma Park Rec Director Greg Clark.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. I want to welcome you to the Takoma Park Recreation Center. Thank you to our county leaders for all coming out for this event. Thank you to our city administration. The Recreation Center, we're just excited to be chosen, Mark, as the location to house this worthwhile program. I think it will be extremely beneficial for our residents, and we're looking forward to continuing our partnership with you. And I want to ask everyone to join me, even though we've done it already, but join me in thanking Mark and Medium Rare and his team for putting together a wonderful program such as this. Thank you. Thank you, and welcome to the Takoma Park Recreation Center.
Did I get everybody? And now we have a statement from the president. No.
That's round two.
So I'm going to say a few remarks, but I promise I'll be quick because I really want to cut the ribbon here and make sure those that might be waiting for the meals get to their food. COVID's taught us a lot, and I think what it's taught me, they never taught us in business school how to run a business during a pandemic. They certainly never taught us how to govern in a pandemic. We're all learning on the fly here a little bit. I've always been one to support the communities that supported us and all the restaurants back when I had a chain of burger restaurants that started in Montgomery County, Maryland. We've always been very community-minded and community-focused, and I've always, whenever asked to donate food or help a school at a school event or send food to wherever, we did it. On March 3rd, before we knew of a phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, or really anything about COVID, there was an announcement made: if you're over the age of 70 and or you're immune compromised, stay inside and ride this out, if anyone remembers that. That was kind of the first, we don't have anything here yet, but just in case, I put a tweet out. I didn't talk to my business partners about it. I didn't ask them about it. I just did it. And the tweet was, if you know of anybody over that age that's home and needs a hot meal, Medium Rare will deliver them a steak dinner for free, no questions asked. And we've delivered over 30,000 of those meals. We continue to do it today. And it's the same meal they get in a restaurant, which was a big part of being dignified for this, but we realized that there was a real problem coming. And one of the big problems was the elderly. And the elderly are of a subgroup where they don't understand smartphones that well. They're not on the internet that well. They're not ordering in food delivery services. They're not ordering in groceries because they just don't, they're not technology savvy. They sit home and they watch cable news. It's not a knock. It's just what they do. They're quiet. And because of the news and because they watch media all day, they are literally scared to death to go outside because they've been trained to be scared to death not to leave their apartment. So what are they not doing? They're not eating. And when their families call and say, how are you? They say, we're fine. And when we ask them, why do you say you're fine? It's because I don't want anyone to worry. But you could all think of your grandparents. I don't want you to worry. So there is this huge subset that is really in trouble. And we do these meals and continue to do these meals to help the best we can. We've done them for, there's one meal that's impossible to make for one person, which is Thanksgiving. We've done it for Christmas. We've done it for Mother's Day. We'll do something this spring for Easter and Passover coming up. But as we come out of COVID, as a society, it's time to figure this out. With private enterprise involved, and frankly, we can move faster, better, and more efficient than big government agencies. We're just built for speed. We can get food to the people in an hour. We've become really good in this pandemic. All restaurants have, because it was really survival, right? You place an order online, you have a meal within an hour at your front door. Our infrastructure has gotten really good to get meals to individual addresses. That's a whole different component than a food pantry or a food pickup site or people having to come get food. In my perfect world, we as restaurants are bringing food to the people regularly who need it. And that in itself solves an insecure nature of knowing where a meal is coming from. And that can happen in a number of ways, and the FEED Act helps a little bit. But I sit here today ready to help and ready to answer the call when a governor calls me or the president calls or anyone in Montgomery County calls to help solve the problem. I think we're spending more money on food insecurity today than we ever have as a country and as a county and as a state. The numbers keep going up and up and up. So from a business person, the definition of doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result is insanity. So this was my attempt to let everyone know there's a different way of thinking about this. And I think it's working. And I think the impact we're having is emotional, it's physical. I will tell you, obesity was a problem before the pandemic. It's a bigger problem after the pandemic. We've all heard of the COVID 20 or 13. Young kids eating bags of chips all day, it's getting worse. So this is a fresh alternative to drop the chips and drop the chicken nuggets and get a steak, get chicken, get lamb, get other things that are more healthy for you and for your body. That being said, there are solutions here that we still need to figure out. And the fact that we're now going into the schools solves the dinner problem, because where the kids they'll now start getting their lunches again, but they still, when they went without dinner, they'll now get dinner, and they'll get a healthy dinner and a non-processed dinner. There's no processed food in anything Feed the Fridge does, and it's deliberate. It could be that an unintended consequence of federal policy, mostly through the federal school lunch program, where there's only $1.09 or $1.60, depending upon where you are, to pay for a school lunch. We're great manufacturers in this country. We can manufacture really cheap, inexpensive proteins that are highly processed, full of salt, full of sugar, that fit the bill for lunch, but then everyone's hungry 2 hours later. And then they're craving carbs, sugar, and salt, which adds to obesity. So it's a fresh, new look. Montgomery County is leading the way. I'm in Montgomery County. We need to think about all of this. How do we solve this processed food, childhood obesity, elderly malnourishment, and get higher quality food for the same price into the bodies of folks? Now, the biggest change, which we'll talk about today, which I have not said publicly before, is we are going to start doing meal kits 1 day a week, where we're going to provide the ingredients to make a meal, including the pots, pans, and utensils to make that meal. Because a lot of folks who are food insecure don't have the pans or the cookware at home or the knowledge on how to cook the meal. We've learned this every year because we cook people's turkeys for them, hundreds and thousands of turkeys a year for free, because they get the free turkey, but they have nowhere to cook it. So we're going to do the meal kits. We're going to work with the big pan manufacturers to donate the cooking equipment. We're going to have instructional videos in Spanish and English, not only how to cook what's in the meal kit, how to shop for what's in the meal kit, what's on a SNAP benefit, what's not on a SNAP benefit, how to save your leftovers and repurpose your leftovers, how to properly use a knife, how to properly sharpen a knife, how to heat up a pan, how to make it nonstick, how to clean it, how to store it. And we're going to build off that each week until everyone's got a full pantry with full pots and pans and all the tools to fish. You can give the person the fish or teach them how to fish. And we're going to do both. And we're going to continue doing that forever. This isn't going away. But I think that's a big part in taking a huge dent out of insecurity. And insecurity, it might just not be food insecurity. I'm scared to cook. I don't know how to cook. I'm a terrible cook. Let's eliminate that and see what kind of dent that makes. And then we'll start building on other ways to do it. So we're here to be part of the solution, not the problem. I'm honored. And it is a privilege for me and my medium rare team and our partners and all of our volunteers. Feed the Fridge is a 100% volunteer organization. Nobody gets paid. Every dollar we raise goes to a meal. These folks have full-time jobs. Some of them have been laid off from their jobs. They're worried, but they are working night and day to coordinate drivers, deliveries, cleaning, repairs. These things break. We're prepared for almost everything, and we couldn't do it without them. My business partners, my restaurant staff who works tirelessly. We get calls for food from the Food Council saying we have a family of 6 in Germantown that needs dinner. They haven't eaten in days. We get them a meal. They work late. They work extra. Medium rare just puts it out. Done. And my staff stays late, and it's unified us. And we will get through this. And Montgomery County is a better place because we as a county came through COVID and it didn't whoop us. We got better as a result of it. So I'm proud to be part of the fabric that holds us all together. Thank you to everybody for being forward thinkers and making sure we take care of our communities that take care of all of us. Thank you very much. Now we got to cut a ribbon.
Yeah. That's a great new program.
Thanks.
That is amazing.
Thanks.
That's going to be a game changer. I mean, that literally.
We hope. We hope so.
Definitely.
We hope we'll have one in every public
Because
school.
that's what you hear.
Well, we learned it. I learned it early on. We were asked to be ready to eat meals at a lot of the donation centers for the boxes of food.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Well, we all gotta do this. Ready?
Ev and I are creating detention. I'm just gonna hold the
Ready? 3, 2, 1. Congratulations to Takoma Park.
Here you go. I'll take that.